You don't even know where you've went wrong, do you? Picture your life in terms of how the world wants you to become. Broke, slaving away, miserable, dependent on your boss to pay your salary. It's just sad. You're a modern young man and your job isn't supposed to be in a box for the next 40 years working like a rat. Jeffrey thinks it's okay for this to be normal, but he doesn't realise that, quite frankly, one of your biggest goals is to get rich and be location independent and have your own stream of income and not dependent on this lifestyle. Jeffrey's always going to get offended at this pursuit of life, so let him. Adonis understands the importance of the pursuit for young men to go on their path and control their income and wealth. He looks around at you and your friends and wonders why men are so emotional these days. Why do men spend so much time slaving away and putting up with this bullshit instead of conquering the mission like men are supposed to do? In this video, dudes, I'm going to give you the full blueprint on how to become a crypto millionaire in 1 year. And the reason why this 1 year is so important is because we're about 8 months away from the halving, and then shit starts to get serious. So you don't even have 1 year left, bro. You don't even have 1 year to set yourself up if the cycle repeats, and I believe it absolutely will. So firstly, before we get into the strategy, we need to actually talk about something. One of my buddies, Matt, he sent me this message the other day, and it kind of shook me a little bit, and it remembered where I used to be. If you want to be rich, understand you're the average of your 5 mates if you're hanging around them. So this guy is he's kind of on the grind, and he's starting to see some success. And he asked me, when I started grinding on e-com and YouTube, did some of my mates just get in the way, or they had some resentment about it? He's in a group and all they do is talk about fantasy football, and he just couldn't give an F about it. And because, you know, he's basically not joining in with this year because he decided to get active on his YouTube channel and the gym and his cryptocurrency investments, and they're well offended with it. And I simply said, yep, they're all gone. I made new friends on my level. By extension, if you hang around with them, you're not going to grow as fast, and chances are you're going to be the average of the 5 people. So I started to ditch those people, and I started to hang around with winners. If that is an e-com, cryptocurrency, YouTube, whatever you're trying to pursue, before we even get into the cryptocurrency strategy, dudes, hang around with winners. If you pull up your phone right now and you pull up your WhatsApp contacts, you pull up your, goddamn, if you're even using Meta or Facebook, and your last 5 messages are to some random dudes that all they want to do is get drunk on the weekend, it's up to you, bro. You get to decide, but I quit that lifestyle ages ago. Still get drunk, but I'm hanging around with winners. We're not talking about the average shit anymore. So, and this is where Matt's kind of going through it now, and he gets to decide. You know, he's starting to get some results, and again, with his cryptocurrency investment portfolio, he's decent in religiously, but he's at that kind of pivotal moment. Has he got the balls to cut out the friends and start hanging around with winners? Well, he's already invested in my private community. I'm not telling you guys you need to do that, but he's starting to invest in himself and hang around winners. And if you're sitting there right now and you're broke, you're stuck in that job, like that harsh introduction, although I try and make the introduction of these videos kind of like lighthearted and fun, but that's the average reality of a man. And if you don't want to be around that, you need to get rid of the 5 mates. And it's going to be a lonesome journey for some time. But once you start to pick up, you'll be amazed how many winners start hanging around with you. They'll find out about you, bro. When I started to grind for 6 months to 12 months, hanging around with nobody, you'd be amazed how many people catch on. And now it's an easy game, let alone the women. The women just come in that. If you're into that, you don't even need to try anymore. Take care of yourself. That's all that's going to matter. And be selfish until you make it. So there's no short supply of men that are not happy these days. A few years ago, I asked my buddies what they wanted to do in life. It was actually a while ago now. When I say a few years, it was actually, I've had this conversation with many people in my life when I was like 17, 18, and the friends I had at 21, 22. That's really when I started to sort my shit out. But you've probably experienced this. You're sitting around, it's like, hey, what do you actually want to do in life? And most of them said to me at this time, they want to go to school, go to college, go to university, get some sort of a degree, get in debt, and then maybe, just maybe after 5 years, you know, not get replaced by AI nowadays, good luck to that, maybe they can get a good paying job to go on a couple of holidays a year with an average girl with a 3, 2 kids, stuck in a box for the rest of their life. And then maybe get back to the office for 60 hours per week to make the boss rich and not themselves. Now, before, like I said, this is a cryptocurrency channel, but I think this is so important to get your mindset around this shit right before you even start looking at coins. Is it just me, dudes, that thinks this is a terrible idea? So I understood this at a very young age. Okay, now I was forced to go to college to do some stuff. That was fine. My mum wanted me to obviously go down that. She doesn't know any better. But I was just there to kind of like figure out what I wanted to do. I knew I wasn't going to go down the route, but I went to college 2 or 3 times now. I studied, I fucked around and, you know, was smashing girls. That's really what I was there for, to be 100% honest. But, you know, I had to go to keep the parents happy. You have to do that. But people are, even today, they're still going down this route. And if you want to be a doctor, fair enough, but anything else, dudes, I can promise you the life on the other side is so much beautiful if you control it on yourself. And if you can use cryptocurrency to fuel that, the life is absolutely fantastic. I would avoid this. I'm not telling you to do this, but if it was me, knowing what I know now, and I'm still in my 20s, so I can only tell you what I've did. But if it was me, I think this is a terrible idea. Now, my old buddies, the guys that were doing this, back when I was like, no, this isn't for me, I'll stick with it for now, but I need to figure myself out. They're coming back to me and asking me about cryptocurrency, and they did this heavily in 2021, right? And it's the same cycle. When 2025 comes, these buddies are going to be back around. Hey, heard about Bitcoin, heard about Ethereum, right? And guess what? We're getting rich off other coins below that. They ain't even going to be heard about this coin till it's too late. And they're talking about how it all went wrong, and they wish they went another way. So I don't want any of these young men, again, there's some females on this channel, respect to you. You know, get active, girls, get active. But for the men out there, the warriors, I don't want you to go down this path, genuinely. Now, some of you guys, if you want to go it, great, you'll maybe have to figure it out yourself. But there is a better life. There really is a better life. Now, what early crypto mistakes will you make in the next run? That's something we're going to talk about. And how can we position the 2024 and 2025 run to dominate that and hit that magical $1 million? Again, some of you guys don't need to hit $1 million, right? I'll hit that by extension. I would hit that, honestly, if I just invested all my money in Bitcoin, right? But by extension, if you can get to the 6-figure mark, I think you've done absolutely fantastic with 10 grand or less. That is going to be absolutely fine for you, because then you can figure out what you want to do. You can kind of get out that job and you can start to say, hey, I've got some cash now. What do I really want to do? But by extension, the $1 million is obviously what everybody wants. But let's dive in. There's 3 ways to do this in the simplest ways, right? We're not going to talk about day trading. We're not going to talk about all that. You know, it's not bullshit. There's people that absolutely kill it, but chances are that's not going to be you. I want to keep this as simple as way possible for investing in cryptocurrency with the right coins and strategy. There's a Lilypad way. Now, this is simply jumping from altcoin to altcoin, and this is what's absolutely fantastic. This will work absolutely fantastic, and I will do this to some degree, but I'm only going to do this in the peak run. I'm not doing this right now because we're in an accumulation zone, I like to call it. I think we're not past the bear market, but I think we've kind of transitioned to accumulation zone. I do believe one of my guys in my community, shout out him, Stephen, we call him G, or Q, sorry, and he believes there's going to be a bloody October, and then we're kind of accumulating. But I'm still accumulating regardless. It doesn't really matter for me. I'll DC all the way down, I'll DC all the way back up. But if you're Lilypadding right now, it's going to wreck you. But to give you a quick example, the Lilypad method is when we jump from altcoin to altcoin, okay? Now first, you could buy Bitcoin. The run starts to happen. We take some profits out and we jump that into Ethereum. The money will flow down to XRP, to Dogecoin, to Cardano, Solana. It's not going to be exact though. Some of these coins, Cardano might go way before, you know, Tron coin, and then AVAX might come way before, you know, Shiba. So it's not an exact strategy. But with 90% certainty, most of these coins are going to have a great bull run regardless. If they're complete scams, fundamentals are out the window. Now, most of the top 100 coins, I would say, have great projects. They're there for a reason. Some of them are memes, but that creates value, believe it or not, like it or not. That's just the way the world works. But the Lilypad method is going to be for more advanced people. You don't have to do this, but you can definitely join me on the journey. And I'll be talking about this more when we're actually doing it live. But you're just jumping from altcoin to altcoin, watching the money flow. And that's how you can really bank a lot of money. But where you can get this wrong, and where it can wreck you, is this is why I don't invest, you know, recommend investing 100% of the bag when you're Lilypadding. So take 10%, 5% out. Let's say Ethereum went first. You chuck 5% into HBAR. Now you should already be decent in those plays, so you're riding them both ways. And then HBAR will flow next because it's a smaller market cap coin. And then you ride that up as well with your DCA plays. It's a beautiful strategy. We'll talk about it more, like I said, once we get in the bull run. Now, number 2 is going to be the DCA plus HODL, plus spend less. So this is my favorite. And a lot of people don't want to do this. This is the easiest way to honestly hit $1 million, but to definitely hit the 100K, the magical 100 grand by 2025's bull run. But nobody bar the 1% want to do this. Everybody wants to do this one, and everybody wants to do a trading kind of way, right? But this will actually make you rich, stupid rich, forever. DCA, dollar cost average. You're buying your coins that you believe in, that you've researched. You're just doing it every single month. Plus you're hodling for the bull market to take place. And you can combine this by 2 ways. The next way is to spend less. Now this is unsexy, and I'm not doing this because I'm in control of my income. But if you could spend less, let's say you could spend less than 500 bucks. Let's say you didn't have a mortgage with that girl. Let's say you didn't have that, I don't know, addiction, whatever that is for you. Imagine you could just cut all those expenses out. You get an extra 500 bucks, maybe you get 1,000 bucks. Maybe you go super cheap and you're eating beans and rice. The 1,000 bucks times about the 8 months when you stop investing, that's 8 grand. If you just go for the average of 10x, which you will get with most altcoins, that's 80k. It's a nice little, you've already done it just by doing that, let alone the DCA plus HODL method. And to put that on steroids, you get the income up, okay? You find something that you can actively do. There's 2 ways to do it. You get a boring extra job, okay? It sucks. I know it sucks. I've been there. I was doing this shit, bro, when I was 17, 18, so I've already done this shit. So if you're 35, 45, 55, you had time to do it. You should be ahead of me. You should be ahead of me. You've been on this planet longer than me. You've had, I don't think you've had more experiences, but, you know, if you're just in your job, you've definitely not had more experiences, but now there's a time to do that if you want to do it that way. So you go and get that extra job. You get it done. I delivered pizzas at 17, 18 at night time, along with my job. Right? I didn't give an F, right? It wasn't a big issue to me. I just wanted the extra money. I wasn't putting it in cryptocurrency. I was spending it on stupid shit. But that's what I had to do. And then I eventually could afford my first ecom course. I hung around the 5 better people, and that's how that's how I got there. So for you, you have to do that and put that money into cryptocurrency. Or the next way is to, but there's actually 3 ways. You could ask your boss for a raise, but it's probably not going to happen. You're definitely not going to be able to 2 extra income. Hey boss, can you take my income from 4k to 8k? He's going to tell you F off and he's going to replace you by a robot. And he's probably going to get replaced by a robot eventually. So that's not going to work, right? It's just not going to work. Unless you're in a sales job, which I would always recommend, then you're in control. You reach out to more people. If you're closing people over the phone, do more phone calls, whatever you can do in that. But most people, I understand, are in like a basic kind of wage, and that's fine. So you're not going to be able to do it that way. The next way is to start a business, okay? You do a YouTube channel. You do ecom, you do whatever you can do. Maybe that's trading for you. Maybe you invest in a trading course and you start learning. You have to do one, so you need to choose one. This is going to make it way better. This is going to make, there's 4 ways to do here. Imagine if you could do that. You could hit 6 figures just so easily if you just put in that work, bro. I'm telling you. Now the third way is a HODL. This is very basic, so you just HODL. You don't even DCA anymore. You just put a lump sum in, you just HODL. That'll get you there. You're going to do well if you did that today. Yeah, you'll do well. And it's some strong altcoins, you're going to do absolutely fantastic. But you're never going to hit true gains. And this is the easiest way out. And if you are a warrior and you want to be a warrior, put all these in action. That's what you want to do. We combine this with Lilypad. This is just the cheap way out, and chances are you're not serious, and that's absolutely fine. If your goal is just to be decently better than average by the next bull run, just HODL. You'll do absolutely fine. Now, understand, be here for 2025. Understand the cycles, okay? So coins to 90%, I would almost argue 95%. They don't really matter. They really don't matter. We've seen that in the previous bull run. Coins like Shiba, Dogecoin, some random gaming projects were going crazy with no product, bar a white paper and a mission and a Discord account and a Twitter account with fake followers. So coins really don't matter, and we're going to see this in the next round, which is great for us because we already know this, okay? What's important is the cycles. What are the cycles? Well, you should already know, and if you don't, prepare to know. It's very simple. And this is what wrecked me. I'll tell you a little story. So cycles. You probably don't see this little cycle here, but this was a 2013 cycle. I can't be bothered zooming in on it because my computer might go crazy, but let me just zoom in on that. See that cycle? That's a cycle. You didn't see it there, did you? You were like, I forgot about that cycle. That was the first cycle to some degree for Bitcoin. Remember, altcoins will go even crazier, but just to keep it super simple. The next cycle was 2017. Okay, your coins like Ethereum, XRP start to go absolutely wild. Look at XRP's chart right now on another tab. You'll see what I mean. The next one was 2021. Okay, this is just a little blemish. This is a big red spot. This is an absolute whatever. This is an absolute behemoth, right? That's what you understand. Understand the cycles, not the coins. Because if you look at most coins in 2021, probably had a great bull run. They probably had a great bull run. That's what you need to understand. It's not coins to some degree. Coins are going to, with market cap, they're going to make you more gains. That's why I don't recommend investing in Bitcoin if you have under 10 grand, because this coin's not going to 3 million, bro. Okay? This coin's not going to 300 grand, bro. So it's not even got a 10x. You understand? Does that make sense? The market cap's too big. Yes, here, invest in Bitcoin. Yes, here, get away with investing in Bitcoin. Some degree, yes, here. Some degree, invest in Bitcoin. But now, don't invest in Bitcoin if your goal is stupid gains. If your goal is just 3x, sure. 2025, when the normies are chatting about crypto, we are bye-bye. This happened in 2021, and I just didn't realize it yet. I wish I could go back. I just did not understand it. And it's fine. You have to learn from your mistakes to get better at anything in life, in the gym, whatever it is, business, whatever it is. You learn from huge failures, and you're like, that makes sense. That cost me nearly $1 million. That cost me 10 grand. That cost me 5 grand. I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again. And these are what makes you as a man. And again, women, shout out to you women. But this is what makes you as a man. This is what makes you pretty much invincible. You see all these scars. You see all that you live from all these hardships. It's all the men that have been through the hardships and the failures that actually make it. It's funny how, like, you know, most people that make it from nothing, not children that have been born into wealth, but most people that have made it, they always get wrecked along their journey. And mine was 2021. I lost all my money, but I had a bigger income and I knew how to get it back because I've been through the lessons of getting that income. If you win the lottery, it's like, you're never going to win the lottery again, right? You're never going to win it again. Of course, you're never. There's obviously a billion, trillion% chance you win the lottery twice, big money, but you're never going to win it again, right? And they all get broke and they've never had the money created by themselves, right? So they don't know how to make the money back. But if the men that have got wrecked, and every man gets wrecked financially, pretty much all the time, they always make it back. And I've already made the money back pretty fast. That's because I knew the game of how to make money in a business. So when the normies are chatting about crypto, we're bye-bye. Hairdresser, your parents, fortunately, when they're talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I do think Ethereum will be a house name this time, last time it was just mostly Bitcoin. But when they're talking about cryptocurrency, you should be 75 to 80% out. Honestly, 100% out. We're bye-bye, we're gone. Now in 2021, I got wrecked because of this and I didn't understand this. But we even got a second lifeline. And God said to me, he said, Jake, you better take profits this time. I'm going to give you one more chance or you can eat shit. I ignored him and I was a shit muncher. That's what happened. I lost all the gains. And this cost me high six figures. So I'll show you what I mean. Now, we got a double pump here if you aren't familiar. Okay, what does that mean? Well, Bitcoin pumped twice in 2021. So I was riding all this way up. I was like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to 100K. It's going to 500K because Plan B and Michael Saylor, it has to. It dumped. I remember watching this dump and I was like, shit. I said to my girlfriend here, I was like, what do we do? What do we do? Do we sell and take profits? Because I was already massively up, especially on my Ethereum games. And I was like, do we take profits? We should have already been taking profits, brother. Okay, that's what I didn't understand. But I was like, it has to go up. And God, or whoever said, obviously not to me, but to the investors, like, all right, we're going to give you one more chance, you little greedy child, you little greedy rich 20-year-old. I'm going to give you another chance. And they did. Pumped up again to even higher highs of 69K-ish. And then I still didn't take profits. I was like, thank God, it's going up. Oh, look at me, I'm rich again. And guess what? God said, so you don't want to take profits, Jake? All right, you're getting fucking wrecked, brother. And that's what happened. Okay? So even not understanding the cycle, and again, you look back and it's obvious. 2020 having COVID crash to get juicy discounts. Boom. Take your profits, bro. It's going to be the exact same story. 2017, 2013, it's the exact same story. And anybody that thinks this is not going to happen, there could be a black swan event, of course. Ignoring that just means you get to invest longer, so it's even better. But ignoring that and to be blind, it's so easy to look back, but I guarantee some of you guys, comment below now, like, was this you that thought this was going to 100K and then your altcoins were going to go crazy? It's so obvious looking it back now, man, but, you know, I was just a little rich kid and I just didn't understand. But again, if you can control your income, the money's all been made back. Money's all been made back, and I've got more money, especially the next 8 months, that I'm going to funnel into cryptocurrency, and it's going to be an easy game because I learned from my mistakes. I've got the scars to prove it, and it's going to be a fantastic run. And that's what you need to understand. Look at the coins, of course, but understand the cycles. That's where the money's made. The money's made in the cycles. Now, what do we do? Well, I aim to build up top coins in market cap first. Just an example, these are not all my coins. Got many more. Some of these I don't hold. Ethereum, ADA, Solana, XRP, Matic, etc. So my positions on Ethereum and your BNB, your XRP, whatever ones you believe in terms of market cap first, get these filled first. Because remember, in the bull run, after the halving, these coins are most likely going to run first. And then you can do the Lilypad method if you want. But fill these main bags up first. So whatever ones you believe in the top 50 or top 100, you might just want to invest in those coins. You might not want to touch other coins. Because you can get 10x returns on these coins alone. You're not going to get it in Ethereum, but you can get them in HBAR, I believe. You can get them in QNT, I believe. You can get them in many other coins in here, I believe. And that's what you're going to do first, right? Guarantee some gains. Now, some of these coins, they might not do that well. Some of these coins might not go back to their all-time high. Some of these coins might not even get gains. But most likely, if you're spread, they're all going to go back to their all-time high to some degree. You can miss a couple, that's fine, but some of them are going to break their all-time high. Like for example, Solana, I think it's easily going to smash its all-time high. If that's going to $500, who knows? If it's going to $1,000, who knows? But there's a minimum of a 10x in here, right? Regardless. That's what you need to do first. And to be honest, I'm done with this. I've done this to some degree 2 to 3 months ago. I filled up all I need to fill up. Now, yes, I'm going to keep going heavier, of course, because again, you know, the money in today is still a 10x in my opinion. So even $1,000 for me, I'm treating that as 10 grand. Okay, so imagine the massive amount I'm putting in. But I've hit my targets. I've pretty much, without doubt, hit the targets. So if you haven't done this first, start doing that today. And then we're going to push down the list, more speculative plays, and we fill. Now, you're going to have your own strategy for this, your own coins to some degree, but for me, that might be coins, you know, like Gala Games, some other gaming coins, stuff that is more risky, but I still think have good projects, right? You're going to do that second. And lastly, if you want, you don't always have to do this. You can go more degen, further down the market caps, like the tiny, just the coins that you really, really, really don't care if they go to zero, but if they have 100x plus gains potential. Maximum 10%, I would honestly say maximum 5%. It depends on your profile, it depends on your goals, but that's what you're going to do last. Do this first, tick that box first. Do this second. I would argue most of you guys to even do this one because, again, I don't think they're that speculative. Yes, they have potential to go to zero, etc., but if you're decently spread, you're going to hit some winners in this one. And this is the ones that you don't have to do, but take a little 1 to 2% bet of your portfolio. It's not going to hurt you. It's absolutely not going to hurt you, and it can absolutely make a huge difference in your portfolio if these coins do lackluster. I don't think they will. I think they're still 10xing, except from this one, of course, Ethereum, but you'll do that to be spread. And this is going to give you some average of a minimum of a 10x if you do it right. So that's what you need to do. That's the action part of this video. This is all just, you know, nice theory, cute. It's going to happen to my opinion, but this is the actionable step. So an actionable step now is do this right now. The actionable step before that, if you haven't got a cryptocurrency wallet, a hardware wallet, if you want to have one of them, I think you should do that. KYC, get all that done. Now, my last message, you have time, but you don't. 8 months before the halving comes, give or take. Then 3 to 6 months is when coins, in my opinion, will start to rally. Okay? So you have time. You've got 8 months of time. But if you're sitting there and you're complaining about how it's not possible for you to go and double your income, how it's not possible for you to cut your expenses, good. It's supposed to be hard. When I was 17, 18, 19, I was still happy, but I was like, fuck, how are these guys on Instagram going to Dubai, affording this lifestyle? Now, yes, some of them were rich fund kids, trust fund kids, of course. But how are these guys just doing this lifestyle? I just didn't understand. And all it came down to was hanging around the right people, understanding a vehicle, side income, a business, combining that with cryptocurrency, and then it's an easy game. So if you're sitting there right now and you're complaining, you're giving the excuse of, oh, I'm living in a third world country. It's just excuses, bro. There's people in India making more than me, making 1,000,000x more than me. Okay, so there's no, are you watching this video right now on a phone? It doesn't even need to be an iPhone, brother. But there's a 1% chance that, 100% chance everybody's watching this, because if you won't be watching this, if you've got an internet connection, you're good to go. You do not need any more strategies than this. You have to get the money in. You've got 8 months or so before the halving comes, and you get to decide, are you going to ride this journey with me? You don't have to go to my level. Some of you guys, it's not going to be possible to go to my level because it takes time to build that income up. But I genuinely believe you can all hit 6 figures in the next bull run. I genuinely believe you can do that with just basic shit of following these steps. Let me know in the comments below if this is valuable. I really hope it was, and I want to see you guys all smash it by the next run. Take care.